What we try and do is create a fertile flower bed where we plant seeds, and by seeds I mean human beings, and what's going to grow out of that flower bed, we've no idea. That's the beauty of culture, that's the beauty of seeing people thrive.
Culture is a community, it's coming together, it's being connected. We're all in the same boat, but there's different storms, you know.
Leeds has got loads of people that spark things, that lead things, that show the way, and I think that's wonderful. But the city doesn't always realise it.
We don't shout about the talent which is here or which has come from here. You know, it's an open city. Do you know what I mean? We say thank you, we move out the way to let people in line for the bus stop, you know what I mean? In some sense, we're a very, very polite community. Yorkshire, we're in Yorkshire.
How do we take this moment to shine a light on things that perhaps people, even locally, might not be aware of, but certainly nationally don't take us seriously for?
Culture isn't just one person, but it's many people, it's a collection, it's a community. And so like for Leeds to reach the greatness that it's going at, the culture that's being brought in and the, you know, embracing the acceptance of it is what is really helping us to move forward and grow together.
And that's really important, I think. We need to embrace the different ways we want to tell our stories. Because we all want to tell our story, and we all live extraordinary lives, however hard they might be. There's complex individuals behind that persona that you might see in any individual that's defined by the labels that we attach to people. You know, beyond that, there is extraordinariness in everyone.
I started dancing when I was 7 years old, and it was my brother who taught me. Esperant used to teach me like Michael Jackson on the TV. Just the love that I felt while dancing, I like instantly knew it was what I was called to do.
Back in the day when there was no caterers or anyone out there, my mum and dad and grandma used to have like backyard with a garage. We used to have a big stove, so we used to bring all the family together and just cook for weddings and parties, and that's what I'm doing today basically. Just doing the same thing and taking it on the streets and bringing people together with food and music.
I'd always been a really big reader, and my mum would always catch me saying the words out loud and pretending to be the characters in the books that I read. And so she sent me off to a very lovely acting group for children that was actually at Leeds Grand Theatre.
It's me he wants, you need to run! Run!
As a young kid, a young Leeds lad, I used to stand in South Stand there and watch my heroes play the great game of rugby league out on the hallowed turf there. And I always talk about being educated, entertained and inspired by what I saw, so I was informed from a really young age as to who and what I wanted to be, which was a professional rugby player, and I did that. So when I retired, I did so with a great debt of gratitude for the people of Leeds and Leeds as a city for what it given me, and by that I mean the opportunity. My driving passion now when I get out of bed every morning is to do my little bit using the resource and the experience that I've had to pay that forward to the next generation.
This is like a lot of our children's safe place, because here everybody's treated equally, part of a team and valued, and I think there's a lot to be said for that really.
What I enjoy doing most is running the workshops and making them available for everybody in the community. I like to be able to do them for all ages and all abilities, so nobody feels excluded and everybody feels that they can achieve.
It's learning from people, learning about them. I start learning about myself and I start to believe in myself.
I'm just proud of the city. I've lived here all my life and that's what I enjoy, is sharing my passion for Leeds with other people.
It just makes you feel you are really needed and volunteers are needed, just giving back to your community.
value every one of these ideas. It's going to make them better and longer. All right.
Leeds is definitely a hub for creatives in general and people that know a lot about their field. And it kind of means that whatever you do decide to do, there's someone that has experience in it and can kind of guide you, and they are open to kind of sharing their experience or sharing their techniques in certain things, or just sharing parts of their journey that you're probably going to go on as well.
I hate people to be lonely. I hate people to be an outcast. If I can make their life a little bit better by doing something, especially through the arts, I'm happy. I don't want to leave this earth without saying that I've touched somebody.
I began acting when I was 8 and always wanted to perform since I was really young. And I started dancing when I was 11 with an inclusive dance group called Mesh Dance, and I'm acting with Stage Door. 2 local groups in Leeds, and they involved me in everything, and it was really fun to be in those groups.
Growing up in Leeds and not in a particularly affluent area or anything like that, it never ever felt unattainable for me. I think there was always so much brilliant stuff going on, be that carnival, be that amazing schemes to get kids into theatre.
The first carnival was in Newton Park, and when you walked through the park and then you saw everybody from different nationalities and different colour, all of a sudden Leeds came a colour, and then it brightened up. You saw the reds, the golds, the greens, the blacks, and that's when I saw a community. That's how I find Leeds, a community of different races come together under one pot.
I think, time, time has changed. We think of each other not just as that separate community, but as a community trying to work together and develop together. And that's not just within art, but that's right across the board. Understanding, more migrants coming into the country, bringing influences here. We cannot ignore anything like that. We can't ignore something which is so strong and powerful, that's not going to enhance our own culture.
So that says something about why it's really important for cultural events to take place and to create a collective act that allows us to come together, because in the end, we're real social beings, aren't we? And that's important. And the way we express ourselves in those is through storytelling. And if there was ever a time and a need for storytellers, it's now.
For us, the conversation was always around ambition and story and giving the city something it hadn't seen before. I think everybody understands living through stories. And if you tell good, hopeful stories, then your life will be good and hopeful. And if you tell the opposite stories, then that has an impact on you as well.
The Awakening was obviously the start of the Year of Culture for Leeds 2023. And the message was, look, this is Leeds, homegrown talent, choreographers from behind the scenes to the tech department.
It started with an announcement that there was to be a concert, but you couldn't buy a ticket. You had to enter a work of art. So even before the show started, even before Natantu sung a word, we'd already transformed what certain words meant in the city.
So many nights I spent trying to catch my breath, thinking about tomorrow.
I loved being on the stage at The Awakening. It was so much fun. I got so excited and I was not even nervous. We are all capable of brilliance and creation.
When you're performing in front of the crowd, it was amazing to kind of see it all come together.
It makes me feel electric, like everyone together just makes it 10 times better.
Live your life like there is no tomorrow. Live your life like there is no tomorrow.
Fans, audiences, they see people enjoying yourself. It's infectious and you have a good time because of it.
I just want other people to have a fun time along with me. I can make them, if they were having a bad day, just make them have a happy day.
People coming together regardless of who they're performing with from every walk of life. And yeah, there was no way I was going to say no to jumping around in the background.
We just had a whale of a time, and the kids, they just loved every minute of it.
Live your life like there is no tomorrow. Live your life like there is no tomorrow.
When you're on stage and you're delivering what you need to deliver and you're touching people, doesn't matter what age you are, and you're touching people, you know, what's that? That's a development, that's an inspiration.
You know, any live performance, any theatre performance, any cultural activity actually is made more meaningful because it's an exchange between people.
From Jamaica to Leeds, a boy like me was able to speak. I had to move to this city to be able to reach. I am proud to say that this is where I'm from. Even when I'm away, my tongue carries the words of Gibson, Seacroft, Beeston, Hyde Park, Meanwood, Aerials, Roundhay, Shuffletown, Bramley, Morley, Ponce, Portsmouth, Headingley, Leeds, L-E-E-D-S, what? L-E-E-D-S, what? L-E-E-D-S, what?
Leeds, are we awake now?
If you don't know something is possible by actually seeing someone that you might know or know of do it, then you won't know it's possible and you won't even attempt to do it, I suppose.
You know, when you look at something, you think, well, that's not my story, or that's not how I feel. And so you feel disconnected from things. All kind of forms of culture are important because you've got to kind of see yourself and you've got to be able to imagine yourself as part of that story.
Everything has the opportunity to just make us see the world in a slightly different way. And that is a constant process of gradual transformation. And I think that's what is dynamic and exciting about culture.
What do you think? What's your experience? Where are you from? What do you enjoy? And why? You know, tell me the why, and then tell me the how, and then what that looks like. And then what you see is this wonderful rainbow mosaic of humanity.
For me, the more diverse it is and the more understanding there is and the more experience of each other's communities and cultures, the more it will grow and develop.
And I think when you get people together from different backgrounds and ages, you know, and you meet people and they've had such different life from yourself, they don't look like you, they don't sound like you, and they aren't the same age as you. And I think that what can happen when you start to find out where you're the same and not where you're different, magic happens. From what I've discovered, everything just kind of reverts back to being quite negative unless people are constantly pushing to move things forward. So I think that you need a lot of people in the city coming from a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different backgrounds to make it happen.
This show has provoked people into understanding what their creativity can do, and that's unbelievably exciting.
We can all do things, wherever we are and however we look. we're all creative, we're all talented, and we're all unique. We can all shine like stars.
I really believe that art speaks into culture, and then cultures actually can determine how we live our lives. So when the artists work together and dream, they almost like give a vision of like, okay, what could society be like next?
And it doesn't matter what age you are, you can inspire. And I think Leeds does inspire right through the age gaps.
What happened that night, what happened in that stadium, is going to be the petrol that excites something, that ignites something.
You know, you who's watching, you can do this and do even more, and you should go out there and shine and do what you're supposed to do.
Wake up Leeds, you've got gold in your veins, you've got silver bones, you've got diamonds for brains, you've got neon souls. The inner ring road loops the loop, the outer ring road plays hula hoop, the corn exchange is a spinning top, a pineapple grows in Lebermontofts. Chapeltown, Hare Hills, Bramley, Armley, Holbeck's a gallery, Seacroft's a library. Open your eyes and a city in slumber floats off down the air and the ooze and the humber. Draw back the veil on a Leeds of the soul, throw back the blind on a Leeds of the mind. Turn up the heat on a Leeds of the heart, let Leeds off the leash in a Leeds of the dream.